right, here is a market recap for September 26th. Let's get into it. So you'll notice you won't see right here that that we already had sort of a big move the past couple days. And other videos moving forward, I'll start showing a 30-minute graph and a bigger overview because that really helps. You really want to understand concept of where the market's at. But even if you're blind and you didn't know the daily or hourly or anything, if you just play the chart and the lines with these ATRs, then and the strategy, you'll do just fine. Again, in the market, all you need, depending on what your goals are, anywhere from 20 to 100 points. In NQ, for every 1 point that it moves, you get 20 bucks. So if you're looking for a 20-point move, that's 400 bucks. Not bad for a day. The thing is you have to do is just create patience, or learn patience in order to wait for the right moments and give yourself enough room. But let's go into the charts. You can see that we had this push up the previous day. We were in a box play, and then what they ended up doing was dropping and having a big gap down. They gapped and broke the lows of the day, and you can see that they use that as resistance. So a lot of times I like to draw a line of the previous days like support, because that could be resistance for the day, especially on a big gap. So with that said, you can see these are all 5-minute candles with 30-minute overlay, and I will be talking in Central Time. So right here you can see the first 30 minutes it dropped below the mid pivot. So anytime you're below the bear, and then you really, anything can happen. Like this could drop right here and you could end up filling the gap, or you can end up coming up to the bull pivot. But that's why you want to have certain things drawn out and planned, like the low of the previous day, and using that as resistance. But until then, even if I like to let the first 15 minutes or 30 minutes play out, because it sort of gives you an idea when it comes to one time framing concepts, and also just what the sentiment of the market is. So if I didn't play the first 30-minute, you would see that it dropped below the mid level ATR. So with that said, now this is resistance, and it actually closed. You can see the 30-minute candle closed and the 5-minute candles closed. So that means I will now let this act as resistance, and then this is going to be my target. So what does it end up doing? It comes all the way down here, and then they end up reversing. So a lot of times what you'll see right here, to the T, it actually held this area, and you're wondering, well, why is it holding this and not coming down here? Well, there could be another level from, say, the multi-day pivot that it's hitting and it's respecting. But at the end of the day, you want to use these as a guideline. We still could come down here in the afternoon, but until then, that's why you want to be taking profits. So right here, say for instance this was at 1480 and this came down to what, 14 or 740. That's almost a 50-60 point move right here. So 40 to 50 points, you start taking profits, or what you do is you at least move your stop. You get stopped out, no biggie. Then you'll notice that it came right here, right to the level, and they actually came back above and they sweeped a bunch of stops, and then they came right back down. But you can see that this 5-minute candle did not close. You see the wick? That right there tells me that they're respecting this line, and so you can easily get back into the short. And you can see also this is VWAP. Then what does it do? It ends up coming back down, tests the low. Again, another 50 points. So anytime you have a big move, don't expect a huge amount of range after the move has already happened. You can see that we almost went 1 ATR just in the first hour. So that's a huge move. So expect the rest of the day to possibly be chop or be range bound in some way. So so now that it's established a low, when you get in here and you end up going short, if you end up going short, you want to take profits at the previous day lows and then leave a runner for the next level, because you never know. And sure enough, what does it do? It comes back, and at this point, you'll notice that this right here was 930, so it never made a new low, and so that's why a new candle came up And then right here, this is 10:30. So the European session is closed. By that time, if you haven't made a new low, the likelihood is you've hit your range. So your range would be anywhere from up here to down here, and you're playing in here. But it's not necessarily. But again, remember, you've already almost hit a full ATR, so you're gonna start getting exhausted down here, and your better risk reward is to the upside. But until then, you want to be playing in the zone. So you can easily say, okay, I'm down here, I'm going to go long. Boom, and it hits the VWAP. What does it do? Come back down. Again, support. I'm going to go long. What does it do? Comes all the way back. So all this right here, again, is anywhere from 20 to 50 points. And so you're playing in this range. Now the morning session's done. And then let's go ahead and compartmentalize, and we'll move on to the next session. So now you're into the afternoon session. What ends up happening? You are still not breaking out of here by 12 or 12:30. So what are you going to do? You're going to basically want to short until it's resistance until proven otherwise. And what's your target? Your target is either going to be the low, but then now again you're in a new session. So you've already hit 1, 2, 3. The odds are if it rejects here and rejects here and it's coming down, it's probably going to blow through right here. The odds of this going a fourth time is not likely. So what does it end up doing? It ends up going all the way from here to here, and then chops around, and then the end of the day you had the last basically hour. It comes down, and then it was a look below and sort of fail. But you can see that we've already been extended for most of the day, and so this was sort of a slow choppiness rest of the afternoon. So if you miss this, any big move, you need to really think about your emotions and just chalk this off as a loss if you did not get any of this. And you need to be looking forward and know, okay, what's the probability of more momentum, more volatility? The only way I would say this is volatility is that we definitely have seen where it comes down to an ATR, and then if it would have cracked above VWAP and above this mid ATR, definitely it could easily go to the bear pivot and then also fill the gap. Seen that many times, but it has to go through the sequence. Right? This needed to break above here by 12 o'clock or 12:30, and then using it as support. And then the likelihood of the rest of the afternoon is you can fill all this in. But until then, if this is not broken, then you have to assume we're on the downside. So that's how you play a full ATR play as well. So till the next market recap.